Imagine waking up one morning, making coffee, looking out the window, and noticing the sun is just gone. Not hidden by clouds. Not an eclipse. Just off. Like someone flipped a giant cosmic light switch. What happens next? And what happens when it clicks back on exactly 24 hours later? Better grab a sweater. This is going to get chilly. Okay. First, let's be clear, the sun doesn't have an off switch. It's powered by nuclear fusion, and unless you've got a spare star-sized wrench from Home Depot, you're not messing with that. But this is a thought experiment. So we're going to pretend that, boom, the sun stops shining instantly for one day. No light. No heat. Just 24 hours of really uncomfortable solar silence. Let's time travel minute by minute. Minute 0. The sun goes dark. But weirdly, Earth doesn't notice right away. Why? Because light takes about 8 minutes to get from the sun to us. So for 8 mysterious minutes, you'd still see daylight, blissfully unaware that our star had already turned off. It's like your Wi-Fi router dying in the middle of a download. You don't know you're doomed until everything freezes. Minute 8. Boom. Instant global blackout of sunlight. Across the whole planet, daytime turns into sudden night. Imagine every city on Earth gasping at once. Chickens go back to their coops. Your car headlights get very useful. The first hour. With no sunlight, the temperature doesn't crash immediately. The Earth's atmosphere and oceans are like a giant thermal blanket that holds heat. So an hour in, it just feels like a sudden overcast day mixed with apocalypse vibes. 6 hours in. Things start looking creepy. The moon? Totally invisible now, because remember, it doesn't make its own light, it just reflects the sun. Same with the planets, gone from the night sky. The stars would look dazzling though. If you live near a city, this might be your first time actually noticing the Milky Way, as you shiver. 12 hours in. Temperatures finally start dropping. The average surface temp falls by a few degrees Celsius. Not enough to freeze you instantly, but enough to make outdoor pools feel like punishment. Power grids overload as everyone blasts their heaters. Also, plants stop photosynthesizing. They're basically holding their breath, waiting for light that isn't coming. 18 hours in. Now things are rough. Average global temps are down around 5 to 10 degrees lower than normal. Crops suffer. Animals are disoriented. Humans? Freaking out. Governments start announcing emergency plans. Someone on Twitter definitely accuses pigeons of stealing the sun. 24 hours. The switch back on. Just as Earth is adjusting to bleak darkness, the sky suddenly flashes with daylight again. The sun turns back on exactly where it should be in its orbit, like nothing happened. Temperatures haven't yet plummeted to extinction levels, so humanity breathes the biggest sigh of relief in history. Birds resume tweeting. Plants go, "Ah, thank you." And the world collectively promises not to take the morning sunrise for granted ever again. Here's the most surprising part. If the sun actually disappeared forever, Earth would freeze solid within a few months. The oceans would ice over, and humans would only survive in underground, geothermal heated shelters. But with just 24 hours of darkness, we'd scrape by. A bit traumatized, definitely cold, but okay. It would be less like instant extinction, and more like the weirdest snow day in human history. This little experiment shows how deeply Earth depends on its star, not just for warmth and survival, but for the rhythms that every living thing relies on. A single day without sunlight would unsettle ecosystems, disrupt weather, and terrify us, but once that first sunrise came back, life would stumble forward again, a little shaken but grateful. The sun seems ordinary because it shows up every morning. But this scenario is a reminder that fiery ball in the sky is the reason we're here at all. So, if the sun really did have an off switch, who should we trust not to touch it? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you had fun imagining this cosmic blackout, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more what if adventures. Because unlike the sun in this story, we promise we won't leave you in the dark.